Welcome back to the channel, fellow adventurers. And if you're new here, we do EDC gear and knife review videos. If you like that kind of content, please consider subscribing to the channel. All right, so anybody who knows me knows that I love flashlights. I probably have close to 100 flashlights, if not 100, in that range. I have them everywhere in my house. And I'm not talking about one or two in different places. I'm talking about 5 to 6 in every room, always within arm's reach. Multiples in both cars, in my motorcycle, in my camping gear. There's all kinds of flashlights. So I'm a guy who loves flashlights. I've collected them, I've had them my whole life, and I use them constantly. So one that I use a lot is this one by Wurkkos. This is the HD01. I love this flashlight, and I featured it in a EDC loadout video, and Wurkkos saw that. And they reached out to me and said, would you want to try one of our new flashlights? And I said, absolutely. Emphatically, yes. Send it, send it, send it. And they did. And I really want to thank Wurkkos for sending us along. So let's open up the box and see what we have. Now, truth be known, I already opened up the box to save some time in filming the video. And I'll explain why in a second. So it's got this nice magnetic closure box. And first thing you're going to have is your instruction manual. They include a lanyard, which is a nice touch. They include, and this is why I opened this previous, this is a little quick start guide to show you that you need to unscrew it and take out the little plastic tab in there so that way the battery makes contact. So I did that off camera just to make it quicker. Of course, they give you a USB-C plug because it does charge with USB-C because this is a rechargeable unit. And then you have your flashlight. We'll move the box out of the way. So first thing you see, it's a nice compact size. It's very light. I believe this comes in at 2.6 ounces. There's your charging port right on the side. That seals up. Oops. That seals up nicely, and I keep doing that. And should make this waterproof. I believe this has a waterproof rating of IP68, which is really nice. It has a 1 meter drop test. So this has been dropped from 1 meter and shown to be hold up. It has a 432 meter throw, which is really nice. And what we're gonna do is in a little bit, we're gonna go outside and actually test it. So it has a max lumen of 1050. So maximum of 1050 is pretty bright. And it basically has 5 modes. You have your low, which is 10 lumens. You have your mid, which is 120 lumens. You have your high, which is 400 lumens. And then you have a turbo mode, which is the 1050. And then you have a strobe mode. So timing on each, in low, it'll run for 10.5 hours. In mid, it'll run for 2.5 hours. And on high, it'll run for 1 hour. And in turbo mode, it'll run for 45 minutes. And in strobe mode, it'll run for an hour and a half. So that's kind of the rundown on the stats. It's very intuitive to use. You're going to press once to turn it on. And then you just hold it in. And the first mode you're going to have is low. Hold it down again. Medium, high, back to low. There's even a moonlight mode, which I don't know if you can see right there, but it's very low. And that's actually the lowest setting. That's lower than low. And it's not very bright, but if you're in a tent in the middle of the night, that'll be good for you. Then you have, if you hit it 3 times, it'll go into strobe. So those are your modes, and let's look at some of the external features on this. You have your 2-way clip, so it can be carried in the pocket, and then you can take this clip and put it on the bill of a hat and just slide it on like that, and now you can use it as a headlamp, which is a really nice feature. I actually really appreciate flashlights that have that feature. especially since I'm a guy who wears hats constantly. You know, I also like the front here because one, it's raised. If you drop it and it happens to hit forward, you're not going to crack the lens. But also too, this could be used as a glass breaker in an emergency. You know, you can really smash and break glass if you needed to. And what I like is its compact form. Being so lightweight and really, really nice in the hand, you know, feels great. I really like this so far. It is magnetic, so let's open up my Monterey Bay knives. And as you can see there, whoops, it'll hold. It's not the strongest magnet, but I mean, that'll hold pretty well. Especially if like you're working on a car or something, you need to put it, you know, on the hood or whatever. That holds pretty well, actually. So that's a nice touch. We'll put the knife back. Eventually there'll be a video on this knife, by the way. So look out for that. So that's the Wurkkos TS12. Now we're going to go outside and we're going to test it and show what it really looks like at night. All right, folks, we're outside with the Wurkkos flashlight to kind of show you what the modes look like. So first thing we have, 3, 2, 1. All right, folks, we're outside with the Wurkkos flashlight. So let's show you what we have first. You have right there, and I don't know if you see it, that's your moonlight mode. That's the lowest mode there is. And we can ramp that up to low, medium, high, and then turbo. And look at the distance you get on the turbo. Really bright. And it's misty out today, so you can kind of see the beam pattern, which is really nice. And then you ramp back down to off. And then if you click it 3 times, you wind up in strobe, defensive mode. That kind of gives you an idea of what it can do. I just want to show you what it looks like in the hand. So it's a nice small pocketable flashlight that will do everything you need it to do. Again, just look at that. And that's turbo. Just fantastic. All right, that sums it up. All right, folks, we're back in the house. And as you were able to see in the different modes, how it looked outside shining into the woods, I thought it did a really great job. I also like the fact that it's a little rainy and misty tonight, so you're able to see the beam throw with the fog, with the slight bit of fog that's out there. So that works really great for you to see exactly how that beam shines. And I thought that was very helpful tonight. So we timed this really well. So with that being said, I think this is a great small form factor flashlight that's bright, it's tough, it's waterproof, and it comes in at a great price point. And I will put a link in the description. Again, I highly recommend it. This is the Wurkkos TS12. I think it's just going to be a great EDC flashlight for everybody. So it's as powerful as some of the other names that you've heard of out there at like half the price. So take that for what it is. Again, I highly recommend it. I thank Wurkkos for sending it. And like I always say, folks, and we need a blade for this. Until we meet again, keep your blade sharp.